Hi, everyone. I am Donna Reid, and this is Donna Reid Talks Voice. And this is our second lesson with Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Donna. Happy to be
Um,
there.
Happy to have you here. First thing I'm going to ask you is, what did you take away from the last lesson since it's been about a week? Do you have any thoughts? Did you have any things? Did you try singing? What did you experience?
Yes, of course, I've tried. I had one little concert in restaurant, in French restaurant in small village. Yeah, I've synced. I just repeated your lessons. I like your lessons with Martin from Canada. It's 24th, I guess, and for me, it works super useful because I found out that my voice works perfectly with this lesson, and
I'm so glad. I'm sorry, I didn't
uh,
mean to interrupt you. I'm just so glad that you said that because that's when people watch my episodes, watch my YouTube channel. That's what I would like them to do is just try out what is going on. Maybe the lesson, I think that was the same time I worked with Michael. Maybe the lesson with Michael doesn't work for you, but maybe the lesson with Martin works for you. So, you try it and you say, oh, wait a minute, I did that and that seems to work and that works really well. That's exactly what you need to do. Play around with it like that. Great. I'm sorry I cut you off. What were you going to say?
no, don't worry. That's okay for me. And last time I was really nervous, but now I'm more relaxed. I just feel that it's not dangerous. I can just think here because last time I thought about camera, about people who will see these lessons. Oh my gosh, I was so scared. But now I think with any other lessons, I will more relaxed, and it will be better for me.
Yeah, of course. It takes a while to get used to it, and it's being taped and all of that, and it's understandable. So we'll get used to each other and how I work and how I work with you, and then it'll just get a little easier. As you said already, you feel a little bit more relaxed. But let's see what your voice is doing today. But first, as I always do, I'm going to have you exhale. Inhale as you bring your arms up. Exhale. Let's get that air going. And again, as you're doing that, people who are watching do the same thing. Just exhale, inhale as you bring your arms up. Keep your mouth open when you inhale. So instead of just through your nose, so open, right, exactly. And the same thing with you people who are watching out there, because it's different. Now, there's no problem with breathing through your nose, especially if you're doing yoga, if you're doing meditation, whatever. But the reason we want to breathe through our mouth when we're singing, and that's good, those are plenty, is because there's a little bit of more than a little bit, there's a throat opening thing that happens when we go, as opposed to like that. You notice the difference? Now breathe through your nose. Do it again and breathe through your nose. You notice the difference?
Yeah, that's harder. That's really
Yeah,
harder.
exactly. So we want our cavity ready to sing. So taking a breath like that makes the cavity ready to sing. It doesn't matter what the vowel is, although obviously when one breathes with their mouth open, it's kind of like an ah vowel. So but you can go ooh, whatever, whatever the vowel may want to be. But anyway, just something to remember. But now let's see where our falsetto is at. So ooh, falsetto, those three notes. Good. Easy peasy. Okay, I'm going to have you do it again, and I'm going to have you do it with an F. Foo, foo, foo.
Okay.
Okay, one more time. with an SH, shoo, 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 and then I'll tell you what I'm doing with all of that.
Shoo, shoo, shoo.
Yep,
Shoo, shoo, shoo.
yep,
Shoo, shoo, shoo.
great. Now I'll tell you what happened there. We did the oo falsetto, and then as we went down with it, it was a little bit under the pitch, so it wasn't quite in tune. I said, all right, that means probably that the air is not flowing. So then I gave you the F, foo, foo, foo. And it was better, but it was still a little bit out of tune, still under the pitch. Then when I gave you the shoo, 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 it was in tune. So that
Oh,
tells me that, as we discovered last time, with you and a lot of people, the air is not flowing efficiently when you sing. Something's tight that's cutting off the air. So you have to be really aware of that. Now, I'm going to do it another way just to make you bodily aware of what happened. So without the SH, without the F or anything, we're just going to do the oo falsetto. But as we did before, you're going to move. So move,
okay.
move, 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 move your shoulders. And the same thing, falsetto oo. Great, great. Even better. Do you notice the difference?
Yeah, of course. It's much easier. It's much easier.
And I can hear the difference in that not only was it in tune, but especially the second one and the third one, the bottom note starts to have a vibrato. So what happens is if the air is not flowing efficiently, you can push the vibrato right out of your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this way the air was flowing very efficiently, and then a little bit of a vibrato came in. So again, just really being aware of your body. Now we're going to take that all the way down. Where am I going to start it? I'll start it here. Same idea with the ooh and moving the shoulders. So ooh, now it may go into some kind of a chest voice. It may not. Whatever's easy, as long as you're aware of your body and the shoulders are moving.
Oh, excuse me. I
Okay,
just
now don't worry about it. I'll tell you exactly what happened. This
uh-huh,
happens
uh-huh.
all the time with everybody. So when we go across this way, now obviously we're going across the register break. You're starting in a chest voice, falsetto, excuse me, and then your voice doesn't know how to go to the chest voice. So because it doesn't know how to go to the chest voice, even the pitches are weird in your ear. It's like, wait a minute, I don't know where I'm going. My whole the ear brain muscle coordination is off because most people are used to either singing with a falsetto or either singing with a chest voice. And the ones in the middle, especially if there's something that is a little different feeling, they don't know where to go with that. So the key to this is no matter what happens with your voice, even if it goes, oh, even if it does weird things, even if it's the strangest sound you've ever made in your life, all you do is hear the pitches and just
Okay.
sing those pitches. And no matter what weird sound comes out, sing the pitches. Now, I distracted you because I had you do this. So then that distracts us from listening because now you're paying attention to your body. But see if you could do both at the same time. So you're going to move and you're really going to hear those pitches. Ooh, and you don't know where they're going to go. You don't know if it's chest voice. You don't know if it's falsetto. See what happens. Now, did that surprise you?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Exactly, exactly. But when I have you concentrate on well, in this case, two different things, but specifically the pitch and the movement, then your voice just goes there. Now, when you did that, it surprised you, but did you dislike it? Did you think, oh, that's terrible? Oh, I hate that. Did you have a feeling, an emotional feeling to it?
Yeah, a little bit, because when I do it just with myself at home with Martin's lessons, for me it works much better. Now I don't know why I can't concentrate or do something else. Maybe it because I do that at home with myself without any moving. And with moving, I'm a little bit shy. I don't know, a little bit confused, and maybe
Yeah.
it's the reason. It's the reason. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that. That's perfect because that's what happens with everybody. So my job is to set it up in a way that makes it different, right? Because I'm looking for freer. Now, I can guess that it probably works better when you do it, listening to Martin's lesson and going along with that because, you're not thinking about it and you're just singing and you're not worried and all that. And now, you're thinking about it. What does it sound like? What does it do? What is all of that? Now, because I knew when you did this, and it went falsetto, falsetto, chest voice, chest voice. I knew when you did it that you would probably judge it because it wasn't smooth. I don't care that it's not smooth at all. And it was different because exactly as you said, I made you move. So because when you're at home, you don't move, it'll go more to where you're habitually used to doing it. But because I made you move, that means it's going to feel different, it's going to sound different. Soon as it feels and sounds different, then we don't know what to do with it. I'll give you a personal example of, let me put it this way first. Many times something can sound aesthetically really good, but be a little bit constricted and not be free. Other times things could sound aesthetically terrible, but definitely be freer. My own personal story with that is that before I came to Cornelius to study, I had a lot of constriction in my voice, but it sounded good. I mean, the vibrato was steady, it was even, it was all that. Didn't feel great, but it sounded good. And as soon as he started working to free that up, all of a sudden it didn't sound so good. The vibrato went, oh, all kinds of weird things happened. Now, once we got past that period and the muscles were better coordinated, of course it started to sound better and then it was much freer and all of that. But we have to be careful about how does it sound as opposed to is it really functionally freer? So right now, I'm just asking you to go with the flow. So just go with the flow and see where your voice wants to go. I'm going to go a little bit lower. Same thing, we're going to start with the ooh falsetto. Then you're just going to bring it down, hear the pitches, move, and see where your voice wants to go. Now, I'll tell you what I really like about that. You notice the top note was really not a falsetto. It was more
Yeah, yeah,
it was more of a chest voice, right?
yeah. Just hear it. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, and what's great is that even though I said start the top note with a falsetto, you just let it go there. That's brilliant. That's fabulous because your voice said, no, wait a minute. I don't want to be a falsetto there. I want to be more of a chest voice. So again, being in the moment, that's great. You didn't have to force a falsetto. I brought it much lower than the one before. And I said, okay, well, let's see where your voice wants to go. Now what we're going to do with that is you're going to take that ooh, same sound that you just had. And again, you just hear the pitches, you just hear the pattern. You're going to take that ooh, change it to an ah, ooh ah, and then back down.
With yeah.
With ooh, ooh to ah. So ooh ah,
Oh,
ah.
okay.
And you're moving.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Now do exactly the same thing and do it half the volume, but the same energy. And can you do it even softer?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Now that's interesting. So you notice how you start moving, and then by the time you get to the bottom, you're not moving so much.
Yeah, 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 that's true.
So can you move more? And say the volume
Yeah,
is
yeah,
great.
of course.
Keep that volume. And so remember, not only are you thinking of the pitches, but really move your body. So we're looking for something else to happen. And I know everybody who's out there, you get we get distracted from the neck up because this is what we feel, this is what we hear. We're all up here. Ignore that part. Just really move your body. Move your body, move your body. Okay? Try it again.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
And what did you notice?
I feel that it's much softer, much easier for me. It feels like better, much better.
Yeah.
Because when it was before, it was a little bit constricted, a little bit tight. But now, wow, that's like magic.
Yeah, exactly. And I find this with a lot of people. Once I get them moving their shoulders that way, moving the rib cage, things free up a lot. You really, really have to be very tuned into your body. I really think that a major percentage of the problem with a lot of people is their bodies are so tight. But now, what we're going to do, let's start with that one where we just finished. Sorry. There we are. You're gonna do ga ga ga, and you're gonna do fast. You're gonna do it fast, and then you're gonna move. And don't even worry about what's going on here. Just really move the rib cage and three times ga 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 ga, and see what happens.
Okay, understood. Ga 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 ga.
Exactly, exactly.
Ga 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 ga.
Yeah.
Ga 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 ga. Ga 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 ga. Ga 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 ga.
And you notice that?
Yeah, I just I've seen it like Muslim Magomаев. It's a famous Russian opera singer.
Ah,
I feel
okay.
I feel it's now it's much louder. It's much beautiful. I don't know, my timbre is now sounds much better.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And simply because we had you move and free things up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's try the same thing with a little bit of a different pattern. Same thing, ga ga ga, and all you worry about is moving, moving, moving. You hear the pitches and you move and you move and you move.
Ga 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 ga. Ga 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 ga. Ga 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 ga.
Okay, that's the first one. This was not as efficient as when we did that one, but it was not bad. The last one, the top note needs to do something else and go somewhere else, but don't worry about that right now. We're going to go back to this. Same thing that we just did. Now, I'm guessing what's happening is with the other one, you're getting this nice, big, rich sound. Don't worry about that sound. It almost sounds like you're trying to make that sound. Don't worry about that sound. You're just moving because there's a little bit of a push to it now. Even though you're
Yeah.
moving, Now there's a little bit of a push to it. So remember, a resonant sound, a big resonant sound is not pushed. It just happens. Just like when we did this one. You didn't push that at all. You didn't even think about it. It just all of a sudden was resonant. But now you're thinking about making that sound.
Yeah.
Exactly. There you go. So don't worry about it. And remember, very important, let every note be somewhere else. So let the all over the place. Ga 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 ga. Whatever it wants to do, you move and you hear the pitches and it's all over the place. So try it again.
Ga 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 ga.
And that was definitely better. Now, how do I put this? For the last note, what's happening is that, okay, even though I just said you were pushing too hard, what's happening here with the last note is it's almost a little too relaxed. So you have to be careful. I get the impression it's going ga 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 ga. I get that, and that happens a lot when I tell people be careful that you're not pushing, then you relax too much.
Yeah.
So think of it in terms of music. If you were singing a piece of music, ga 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 ga. It's a piece of music instead of ga. Do you see? And it's not
Yeah,
ga.
yeah,
It's kind of the in between one. Try it again and see what happens. And you're still moving.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Ga 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 ga.
Not bad. You hear that sound on the bottom.
Yeah,
What I'm going
yeah.
to do with that sound? You're going to do that sound. Yes, start it with the ga. It's one note. Well, it's going to be two notes. You're going to start with that ga, and then you're going to do this. So ga, and then you sustain the ah. You're still moving.
Ga.
No, 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 no.
Yeah,
Start,
yeah,
start
yeah.
with this.
I just I did something that was before.
Right, exactly, exactly. Okay, try it again.
Mm, Ga.
Oh, now that's interesting because I wanted you to do this,
Uh-huh.
but you did this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that's okay.
I
I'd
don't
rather.
know why. I really
No, no,
don't
no, no,
know
no,
why.
no. That's great. Many times when I give an exercise, and it happens a lot, the student will sing something else, and it's not what I wanted. But what they're doing is better than what I wanted. So I like the fact that you went up and did this. We're going to stay with that. So we're going to do what you did. That's great. Same thing for the next one. Do exactly what you did. Now, the only thing is the musicality of it. When you did ah, that was great. When you sustained the last note, there was a vibrato, it was beautiful, but then the last note collapsed. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
So instead of you have to really finish it to the end. So again, you have to use your musical ear. So when you finished, ah, there's a finish, and what you did is ah, and again, it's like you didn't finish. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But the
Yeah, I know
sound,
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
So
the
sometimes
sound
I'm
that you,
confusing. I starting to thinking about all of that, and yeah, 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 I'm starting to confuse and all of
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. And
This is the
that's what
reason.
happens with everybody. So that's why I try to keep it, and I know I give a lot of instructions, but I try to keep it pretty simple because if we start thinking too much, then everything goes off because we're thinking, our brains are going, and then that throws everything off. Now, again, so three things. You're going to hear the pattern, which you have. That's beautiful. You're going to move to, you hear the pitch, you hear the pattern, you got, and the third thing, you make it musical, like you're singing a piece of music. Just those three things, and don't judge it. Don't worry what it sounds like. Don't worry about any of that. Okay?
Okay. Ga.
Yeah, now what did you notice with that?
So it was not so confused, yeah. And I started to feel in another type of vibrato inside of me. And my timbre, I don't know what's happening, but it's really much beautiful.
Yes, exactly. So just because you concentrated on those three little things, then everything started to happen. So again, the most important thing about this way of learning and teaching is you set up the environment, you set up the conditions to get the voice to go somewhere else. We don't, I have an idea in my mind what the voice might do, what it might sound like, but I don't know. So it's not that I'm looking for a sound. Now, what happens with everybody when they sing, especially when they sing a good sound like that, we're going to go a half step higher. They try to make the same sound. They say, oh, okay, I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going to make that same sound. Don't think that. Don't worry about the same sound. Don't worry about trying to do the same thing. All you're doing is thinking about the ah and the pattern and make it musical, and you're moving. That's all you think about, and let it sound different, let it be different, and let's see what happens. So forget about what you just did, as good as that was, and let's see what this one wants to do.
Ga.
Yeah, that was good. Now, let me ask you this. How different or not was that from the half step below? Was it very different? Was it not different? Was it simple? What did you experience?
I don't really know because for me it's hard to equal because it was I think it was different a little bit, but I don't really know what exactly was different.
Perfect. That's a fabulous answer. And whenever I ask a question about, to all of my students about what did you notice? Did you notice this? What was this, that, the other thing? I don't know is always an answer. Say, I don't know, it came out, I don't know what's going on. So, but what you answered was actually, it's not, how do I put this? What makes it difficult for people when they sing is they want something concrete. They want something solid. I want to know what I'm doing, because if I know what I'm doing, then I can do it. But the way you answered that is pretty much what happens when you sing. You said, I don't know, it was a little different from the one before, but kind of, but I'm not sure. And I think, but both were very good. But you may not know specifically. Now, the fact that you said it was slightly different than the one before is basically the most important thing. Because even though it's only a half step, every half step is different. So you just absolutely have to make it different. Now, let's test everything out, right? We're going to do this. Where do we want to do it? We're going to do it here. You're going to do gla, gla, gla. Let it fly. And you're going to move. You're going to breathe, you're going to move. But the thing that I want you to do is make it musical. So how would you sing that phrase? Gla, 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 gla. Just be musical with it. Hear the pitches, move, and don't judge it. Don't worry, does it sound good? Does it not sound good? I don't care about any of that. Just go for it, see where you're at.
Okay. Gla 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 gla.
Now you hear how nice the bottom note is?
Yeah.
What did you notice with that?
It was with pitches it was much better with pitches, but I don't know what I do. I really don't know.
That's perfect. That again, I don't know is actually almost the best answer, because people who sing well They honestly, they don't know what they're doing. They open their mouths and it comes out. So my job is to set up the pattern so that when you open your mouth and it comes out and it's good, because what you just did was very good. And especially the bottom note had some nice vibrato coming through, some nice easeful sound to it. It was free. The top note could have had a little bit more vibrato, but I'm not even worried about that right now. I like the way it ended on the bottom note. So again, just letting it be whatever it wants to be, following the pattern and not worrying about manipulating it. Now, what happens when you're, in between before I see you again next time is you play around on your own, and it might even work better because, you're not being taped, it's not, you kind of can be a little bit less inhibited and you could just kind of do things and just play around, because many times when we're playing around at home by ourselves, it's a little bit more spontaneous. It's like, well, okay, whatever, I don't have to think about it. I make you do something specific and all these different things going on. The only thing I'll ask you to do in between, before next time, is when you sing, see if you can move around a little bit more. See what happens
Yeah.
if whatever you do, even if you repeat Martin's lesson, you decide to do that again, or just sing a song or whatever it is, move around and see what that does.
Yeah, I will because I really like it. It works for me super.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you just become really aware of your body, and then we'll meet again next time, and then see where we're at.
Okay, thank you so much for your magical lessons. That,
Oh,
that's
thank you so
amazing.
much for
You're
doing this.
amazing.
It's a pleasure. It's absolutely a pleasure. Thanks for watching Donna Reid Talks Voice. If you have any questions for me about this episode, or if you'd like to join me on a future episode, please visit donnareedtv.com and click Contact.